Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Adida Mola, and I'm a Scrum Master for Magnum. As a Scrum Master, within the team, we developed an learning management system where students can learn at the comfort of their own.
Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, before you go ahead, I think just to clarify, basically.
As a Scrum Master, as a Scrum Master on the team, I worked with the BAs, quality analyst, data analyst, and agile project manager, and I helped in managing the team to work in making a learning management system where students can learn at the comfort of their own IT learning courses. So the goal within the sprint for this internship, the first sprint, we worked on completing the static design page. Then the second sprint, we worked on the functional features. And the third sprint, we worked on navigation menu. If the fourth sprint, we worked on creating the payment gateway menu. And the fifth sprint, we just worked on completing the payment gateway. So the actions I took as a Scrum Master was constantly researching and continuously learning within the program. Then I was coaching the team on agile framework and Scrum framework, agile methodology and Scrum framework. Then I built relationship within the team, one-on-one relationship, and organizing events to improve efficiency within the team. And I also prepared materials for the team. So during this course of the program, we worked on team charter, and that's where we worked on making definition of ready, definition of done, our responsibility and our role, how we want to be communicating within the team, and what everyone is expected to do. And we signed and made the decision as a team. Then within the team, I facilitated Scrum events, daily stand-up, sprint retrospective, where we spoke about what was going well, what we expected, what wasn't going well, and what we needed to change, and what we put actions to it. We use the Azure board, and sometimes we use Miro to do the retrospective. Then we also conducted sprint review regularly and sprint planning. Within our sprint planning, we were doing capacity planning and making sure that the resources we had was adequate and moving stories here. Then product backlog refinement, we did it every other week. This is also the doing retrospective. This is one of the while we're working on Miro. Then at the beginning of the sprint of this internship, rather, I worked on onboarding every member of our team to have access to the tools required for the project with team management. So the tools we used were Azure DevOps, Teams, Jira, and the tester accounts for the Azure DevOps, so that the QAs can have access to it. Then I also collected metrics within the sprints, metrics like burn down chart, velocity, community flow diagram, and cycle time. Then during the process of these sprints, I worked on auditing and analyzing the project. That's so setting up the board for Jira and Azure DevOps. I also use Jira to monitor the career progression. So things like CV creation, CV review, mind maps. So we know an interview session, an interview prep. So those were things kind of stories we created in Jira. In Azure DevOps, we worked on, that was where we did the e-learning projects on to ensure that there was transparency and inspection and adaptation within the sprints. Then visualization was very important, so we used the board to watch what we were doing and know where the progress of the project was. Thank you. Happy Demi is not here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Magnum. Thank you, Ade. First, I'd like to say even well done for pulling through to the end. And that was great. You shared a lot of things that you've done. So, but of course, you wait for your feedback at the end. And we'll be going to the next team. But just to reconfirm, is there any other person from Magnum on the call? Any other person from Magnum, please? Okay, that's fine. I'm picking the next team now. Just a moment. Okay, Dynamite. Dynamite, are you guys ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Thank you, Tammy. Tammy, please share your screen. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Temi. Yes, Team Dynamite, aka Pace Setter. Yes. Yeah, this is Spring 5. The Spring 5 started 21st of August to 10th of September. The project mandate is to design an e-learning website platform for students to interact with other students and to access the course information. And in our teams, we have 3 Scrum Masters, we have BAs, we have QAs, we have 1 DA and 1 ADA. The goal of Spring 5 is to authenticate, register courses. As a Scrum Master, we have different goals for Sprint 1 to Sprint 5. For Sprint 1, the goal is to create the prep measure header design. Sprint 2 is to authenticate the sign-up and login functionalities. Sprint 3 to activate all social media links in the footer menu and also to view the search courses. Sprint 4 is to authenticate courses and payments. Sprint 5 is to authenticate register courses, and those are the duration of the sprints. Here is just a report of the things I achieved in each of the sprints. For Sprint 1, I created and set up a job board. I created and set up the Jira board. I added my team members on both boards. I set up the team charter. I set up the wiki page. I set up meeting links for the team. For Sprint 2, I facilitated all the Scrum ceremonies, the sprint planning, the sprint retrospective, and the daily stand-up meetings and so on. And I met with the product owner, developers, and some mentors. I resolved some impediments with some things because in the Sprint 2, some team members weren't able to log in on the board because they are new to the board. So I resolved some impediments for them. For Sprint 3, I facilitated all the Scrum ceremonies. I also met with product owners. I resolved some impediments with some team members. I also trained my team members on some tools, majorly at Jira and their job board. I also monitored the sprint progress and I created CV. For Sprint 4, I monitored the sprint progress. I participated in Scrum ceremonies and also watched some videos. Sprint 5, I facilitated all the Scrum ceremonies, met with developers, and watched some Scrum videos. These are the impediments which I encountered during the course of the internship. For Sprint 1, I encountered about 6 impediments and I resolved some on my own while some was escalated to the admin. Sprint 2, I encountered about 3. I resolved some with the team members by communicating with them. Sprint 3, 2 impediments were encountered and I resolved it by communicating with the developers because the impediment deals with the developers. Sprint 4, non-impediment. Sprint 5, 3, which I escalated to some mentors and also communicated with the team members. The tools I use are the Agile board, the Jira board, Miro, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and the rest. Project overview. The Prep Major is an e-learning website. Here is a platform where students and tutors can interact with each other on course information. And the student can also view all the available courses on the website. They can create accounts for themselves, logging in and registering for the courses in which they want. It is also a platform where students can make payment for the courses in which they also registered for. And we have different various options of payment method available on the website. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the end of the project. I am Janet, Scrum Master. The overview of the sprint from Sprint 1 to Sprint 5. We have set goals, as you can see. each of the sprints, there is a specific goal for each of the sprints, which we actually followed and we achieved. Next sprint, please. Sprints achieved. In sprint 1, I was able to set up Azure Dev board. I created Jira board. I also added Teams members to both boards. While in sprint 2, I participated partially in facilitating the Scrum ceremonies because I was just coming on board then. Met with the product owners, developers, and the mentors. I was able to resolve impediments with Teams, and that is the issue of logging in on Jira. Also, CV creation was done. In sprint 3, I facilitated part of the Scrum ceremony as well. I met with mentors and team members. There wasn't any impediment that was resolved by me. Regular monitoring of sprint progress was done. I also watched videos. Next sprint, please. In sprint 4, I facilitated all the Scrum ceremonies. I met with product owners, the developers, and mentors. And the sprint setups and the team members were actually encouraged. Though this was a very challenging sprint for me, at least it was the goals was achieved to some extent. I also resolved the impediments that was raised by some members. The regular monitoring of the sprint progress was done. In sprint 5, I participated in the last sprint, partially in the sprint ceremonies. I watched and listened to videos. I attended part of the meetings and also participated in the demo, which is going on presently. The tools I used, as you can see, the Azure Devo, I used Jira board for career development, velocity charts, abundant charts, and so on. Next sprint, please. Yeah, my impediments. The impediment that was actually considered in the sprint 1, I have 2. The form of the impediment was onboarding and the logging of the team members, and how it was actually resolved. I chatted up and follow up, then fix different times for meetings to meet with members. In sprint 2, I have 2 as well. There was a CV creation issue and demo presentation challenges. And it was actually resolved by connecting the mentors. Also, extra commitment was actually given by the team members. In sprint 3, I didn't have any impediments resolved. While sprint 4, I have 3 impediments that was handled. And that is the unavailability of team members, discouraged members, not ready to take up responsibility. And the way it was actually handled was that thorough follow-up was done, chat up was done, calling and encouraging team members to participate in the sprint in order to achieve the goal at the end of the day. And mentors were also contacted. In sprint 5, no impediment was resolved by me. My summary, prep major is the website development project. It is also a student tutor platform where students and tutor can engage with each other on courses information, whereby students can access courses available on the website. Likewise, students can access various courses with well-detailed description to help them in making the right choice of courses relevant to them. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ali Abiola. I'm a business analyst. Prep Major is an e-learning website that enables different users, students, and tutors to navigate around different course options, enroll, and make payment. It is also a platform where tutors can communicate with students by posting their courses online. In this system, both students and tutors can interact to achieve their career goals. Next, please. Designing an e-learning website for students and tutors to interact with each other so that they can have access to course information. As a business analyst on this project, I identified the need of this project by elicitation requirement, functional and non-functional, from different stakeholders. I gathered requirement, analyzed and document it by writing user stories, acceptance criteria, process map, use case, and wireframe for requirement analysis to meet the project needs for the developers to develop. I participated in user acceptance testing to ensure that acceptance criteria are well interpreted. Next, please. My responsibilities and roles while I was working on the project, I worked with the product owner, I wrote user stories and criteria, I managed the stakeholders, my team members, the business process. I identify problems and solve within the team. I identify areas of improvement and also participated in user acceptance testing. During the course of the sprint, while developing the website, we gave ourselves a target goal, which in sprint one, we wrote stories and epic stories and product backlog on how to create prep major website landing page. For sprint two, we wrote stories on authentication of different functionalities. We wrote stories on, for sprint three, we wrote stories on how to view and search courses. For sprint four, we wrote stories on how to activate all social media links and how to enroll courses and make payments. For sprint five also, we move all those other stories that we have in our PBIs to sprint five. So we didn't write any story for sprint five, but the goal was to authenticate registered courses. Next, please. For my document tracks, I wrote 5 epics, 7 features, 45 product backlogs. I have 30 user stories. I designed 15 wireframes by myself, 2 process map, 1 use case, and I helped in facilitating the EAT, 10 of it. Next, please. The tools I used Azure DevOps, I used User Story, Jira, Balsamiq, Visio, Teams, Microsoft Word, and PowerPoint. These are the artifact of how the journey went, how from epic to feature and product backlog. Next one, please. These are some of the wireframes which I created. Next, please. Process map. Next, please. Use case. Next, please. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Toyin Bello, a BA on this project. The project overview, this is a website development project called Prep Major. The Prep Major is a student and tutor platform where students and tutors can engage with each other on course information. Students can access courses available on the website. Students can also access various courses with well-detailed description to help them make the right decision, including the course duration and fees. And various payment methods can also be assessed. Next slide, please. Then the key deliverable achievements are the accurate requirement engineering for the project, successful user story for each functionality on the Azure DevOps, created wireframes, a mirror look website using Balsamiq, created payment process mapping using Visio, conducted user acceptance testing, and also a fantastic stakeholders management. And the sprint activities from sprint 1 to 5, the first sprint, I was able to create the Prep Major landing page. Sprint 2 authenticated for all functionalities within the all user stories. And sprint 3 was to activated all social media links to view and search courses available. Then sprint 4 was to activated all enrolled courses and payments. Sprint 5, no user stories was written, but I was able to authenticate the registered courses. Then the documentation, I wasn't able to write any epics, but I was able to write 1 features and 10 PBI, then user stories, then wireframes, 6 wireframes, process map was 1, user case was 1, and UAT was 10. Then the tools I use on this project are Azure DevOps, Jira, Microsoft Office, which includes PowerPoint, Word, then Visio, Balsamiq, and Teams. Then the product backlogs, this is the process of the product backlogs on the Azure DevOps from epics to PBIs. Then this is the wireframe, few of the wireframes that was written. Then next slide, please. And this is this is one of the process map that was developed as well. And this is the use case. Thank you so much.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Esiet Samadiong. I'm a business analyst. The project I've worked on for the last 3 months was an online learning management system for students and tutors to interact. As a BA, my role was very important to ensure the successful development and operation of the learning system. During these last 3 months, I was able to gather some skills in requirements gathering, writing user stories and creating user cases, developing wireframe, and also process mapping. In the last 3 months, I was able to understand that my role as a BA was very important in bridging the gap between the user needs and the technical implementation. Next slide, please. The sprint goals. We embedded in 5 sprints. Sprint 1 was creating the prep major landing page. Sprint 2 was validating the functionalities. Sprint 3, activating all social media links to view the search courses. Sprint 4, activating enrolled courses and payment method. Sprint 5, authenticating registered courses. Next slide. Um, Prep Major, what is Prep Major? Prep Major is an online space that was designed for students to take courses online and tutors to post their courses online. The goal of Prep Major is to have an effective and interactive online learning experience. Next slide, please. My achievement as a business analyst during this project. As a business analyst, I was able to write 10 stories, create one user case, one process map, and 5 wireframes. Next slide. This is a backlog item and then future on the Azure DevOps. This is the user case, and this is the process map. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm ready for Olusegun. As a BA, he identified the business needs.
Sorry, why is he not here?
He can't talk where he is. He's caught up in the middle of an emergency.
Is he in the call?
Yes. Right now, I don't know, maybe I didn't check, but he already told me like a few seconds ago.
I'm seeing him on the call. Okay, all right, continue. That's fine.
Okay. Olu is a business analyst, and during the course of the project, these are what he did. He identified the business needs, act as an interface between the product owner and the project manager. He gathered requirement and writing of business requirement, acted as an interface between IT and business. He defined and analyzed the business model using modeling techniques and methods. He translated the business requirement into IT specification. He collaborated with different stakeholders to gather, analyze, and define requirements into project scopes and deliverables. He performed a gap analysis on requirement for where we are today and where we want to be. He developed and maintained detailed documentation, including business requirements, process maps, use case, and functional specification. Where applicable, he led user acceptance testing and facilitate feedback loops to ensure successful implementation of agreed initiatives. He acted as a liaison between the business stakeholder and technical teams, ensuring clear communication and alignment throughout the project lifecycle. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gania, and I'm a QA analyst in Dynamite Group. Yeah, the project we worked on during the course of this internship was Prep Major, which is an e-learning website based on career development and transition programs centered on IT courses. Professionals and as well students who are interested in growing their careers as well as transitioning from one career to another sign up on this website to purchase courses that will help them grow career-wise. This website entails courses that deal with different roles in Agile and Scrum setup. And the features of this Prep Major website includes resource library, security and accessibility, as well as payment and purchase of functions, which is also mobile friendly. The methodology we use for this project is agile, and I worked alongside different different colleagues from different departments, PAs, DAs, as well as my fellow QAs and data analysts. I was also we also worked with Jira. The tools we worked with were Jira, IntelliJ, Selenium, Java, as well as Cucumber. And the risk we came up along this risk became about by unavailability of the members, and we had to take on the responsibilities of those that were absent. So for first sprint, where I was able to understand the basic concept of testing, which has to do with the principles of testing SDLC models, as well as the test levels. We also talked about the test pyramid, which includes end-to-end testing, as well as integrated testing and unit testing. And for the sprint 2, we also covered the SDLC as well as test scripts. I was also able to work on the login feature where I designed test cases and executed them, and also identified bugs and also raised them out assigned to the respective developer. So I also had the knowledge of working on IntelliJ, which I was able to create my framework using the POM file test.ng as well as test runner. Next slide, please. So for the sprint 3, I happen to be the test lead. So thereabouts, I created the test plan as well as the test document and assigned the PBIs to the QAs I was working with. Then also informed them of the tools that were supposed to use for the project. So here I personally worked on the password functionality as well as the user account settings and top courses and terms and conditions. I also, at the end of the sprint, I was able to create a test report and also work on automation where I continued with the step definition and the locators and had knowledge of Git and GitHub and was able to push my codes into GitHub using the Git bash. And for the 4th sprint, I happened to be the assistant test lead, so I worked on creating the test document as well as the credit and debit card payment functionality. Next slide, please. Yeah, I also worked on the planner and I furthered my knowledge on automation, where I was able to work on the page objects. That's for simplifying my codes when working, and also the automation features. I automated some prep major features which was assigned to me. So at the end of this course, I was able to run 84% of tests, and those that failed were like 10%, and those that I have not run, that I'm yet to run, are 6%. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kazim Ridwan. I'm a QA. So recently I've worked on a project in the last 3 months, which is a prep major project. It's an e-learning website that enables different users to navigate around different courses options and to enroll and make friends. It's also where platform tutors can communicate with students by posting their courses online. So in this system, both students and tutors can interact to achieve their educational goals. So the various features of Prep Major website includes resource library, security, accessibility, purchase payment, and mobile-friendly design. And I was able to work in an agile methodology where I attended sprint with a perspective. I was able to attend sprint review, daily stand-up, and then I was able to meet up with the shareholders. I was also able to work with different colleagues. We from QA, BA, and then Scrum Master. So my role is as a QA is to design the test plan, the test kit design, test execution. I did regression testing, automated testing, and defect reporting, and then risk assessment. So the tools I use are Azure DevOps, where I used to write my test cases. I was also able to write my test plan on Azure DevOps. I was able to raise bugs, and then I also use Jira for my career development. In my automation, I was able to use my Java. That's the code I use, and then I use Selenium, which is the WebDriver, and I use Excel to write my test cases too. I also use Cucumber and then IntelliJ, which is the framework I used in my automation. Next slide, please. So in this project, I was able to write 63 test cases. I was able to raise 19 bugs, and then 10 PBIs were assigned to me. Next slide, please. So in my sprint 1, I was able to write test plan, the test design, test execution, and then defect reporting. So I was taught the SDLC model. I had enough idea of SDLC model, which I used the Agile model. So I was taught the types of testing, the functional testing, integration testing, which I practiced in the project. So I also do regression testing, non-functional testing too. So in my sprint, I was able to write my test cases too. In sprint 2, I was able to write my test plan on Azure DevOps. I wrote it on Excel too. Some PBIs were assigned to me, so I was able to write test cases for registration feature, filters, logout. So yeah, I was also able to detect some bugs, and then I raised it, and I was able to fix it. So I did regression testing for these bugs. So next slide, in sprint 3, so I was doing regression testing, testing some PBIs to were assigned to me, so I was able to test them. I wrote my test cases, and then I did my manual testing. So I also did career regression on Jira, and then I raised bugs. So in sprint 3, I was introduced to automation. So where I set up my IntelliJ, which is the framework I used, I downloaded my Java, downloaded my Maven, installed my Cucumber and Gherkin. I also added my folders, which are the POM file, test runner, and then test-ng. Also, in my automation, I was able to write my feature files, which I automated, and then I did the past. So I also did scenario outline features, which I passed. I tested automatically, and then it was passed. So I was also able to push my codes in the Git, and which is the repository. So I was taught the locators too. So in Sprint 5, I did UAT testing because there were not enough colleagues to do the UAT testing. So I was able to do the UAT testing, and then I did regression testing, and then the test execution. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Deborah. I'm one of the QA. In this internship, we worked on a Prep Major website. Prep Major website is an e-learning website where new users and current students can register and pay for courses of their choice in agile environments. The various features of a Prep Major website include enrolled courses, resources library, become instructor, and so on. My role as a software tester is to check is to check the effectiveness and functionality for websites to detect any presence of a bug or defect. Next. In Sprint 1, we carried out we worked on manual testing where we understand the basics and core aspects of testing, principles and process of testing, SDLC mode, test execution, test levels, types of testing, test case design and test tools, defect reporting. In Sprint 2, STLC test script. And in this sprint, I was able to work on contact us and filter design, where I wrote my test cases, test execution. I executed the test, effects identification, and bug was raised and assigned where necessary. and we had automation framework. Next, please. In sprint 3, I carry out testing on search courses. I wrote my test cases and I executed the text, the testing. And the next one I work on was courses as well, where I design my test cases. And tools that I use in this testing is I use Excel and Azure DevOps. And in a sprint 4, we went on to learn about regression testing, setting up our IntelliJ IDEA, downloading Java Maven, installing Cucumber and Gherkin, adding my folders to comps and all, automation of login feature and registration feature, repository gators. In this sprint, I carry out manual testing on enroll courses. Next, please. And in sprint 5 was the UAT testing, regression testing, test execution. And what I work on in this was is still a manual, which is favorite art icon, where bug is raised when necessary, and it was reported and assigned. So we're supposed to be working on it. Thank you.
All right, hi. Vivian, she's not available, so I'll be presenting for her. She's an ADM, and the project name, the project's, the prep major cost plan, she just did a table explaining how the projects run for the 3 months. The duration of the project is 3 months. Her name is Vivia Uzochi. The project sponsor, the costs, the variance, the period from June to September, and so on. As an ADM within this project, she completed the following. She oversees an end-to-end delivery of the prep major project as a product using the project life cycle from initiation of the project to planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. And this involved budget allocation, resource gathering, and ensuring that the project team has all it needs to complete the project successfully, meeting with the stakeholders initially and regularly throughout the duration of the project, a regular meeting with the project team to gather updates and feedback. And she also maintained continuous communication with the project team and stakeholders. Although there were challenges and issues, however, the project was still completed within the time, budget, and scope. Team Dynamite as a project team worked tirelessly to ensure that the sprint is successful and that the project was completed in spite of the issues encountered. Due to the issues and the potential risks encountered, lessons have been learned as well as outlined in the previous page for future projects. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dynamite. I want to take a bow for you guys. Thank you for sticking it out to the end. Really well done, and big kudos to everyone. I know a lot of work must have gone on for you guys to be able to, all turn up today. So well done, guys. Really pat yourself on the back. Well, it doesn't mean you're not going to get your feedback. You're still going to get your feedback, but really, this is a very good job done. Well done, guys. And we'll be going to the last team before we come back to Platinum, yeah? So we're going to Twilight. Twilight, are you guys ready for us? Hello, Twilight.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi, Vicky. You want to share your screen?
Okay, please give me a second.
Okay.
What is funny now? Which one? This one? Oh, it's almost out. Don't force it. Take cutting wood. Put it.
Okay, can you all hear me? Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, we can hear you. Victoria, is this a live sheet?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, this is This is the slideshow. This is the Google slideshow. Apparently, we don't have the PowerPoint slides because it was most of everybody had been working with this slideshow before. So.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. All right, where are my team members? Please, everyone, are you all here? No one is answering. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
You can start with
Mohammed.
me if you can go to the
Yes.
beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
One more. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I think we've done our one a bit different, but yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mohammed Alasso. I'm a Scrum Master. Next slide, please, Victoria. Okay. Now go back. Okay. Since being at Blue Sky Citadel and hold on, this one is a bit different. Sorry. Victoria, can I just share my screen 1 minute? Let me just share my one. Yeah. Sorry. Because I've done mine a bit different. Innit? Sorry, Olawumi, about this headache. I'll let Victoria share it back, but I've just done mine a bit different. That's all. Okay, let me click share. Let me click slideshow, presentation view. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Mohammed Alasso. I'm a Scrum Master at Team Twilight. These are some of the things I've learned while being on my journey at Blue Sky Citadel. These are the qualities and values I've gained in the last sprints from sprint 1 to 5. As you can see, servant leader, responsible, collaborative, committed, humble, focused, and openness. This is my skills that I've gained while being on the course. Great knowledge of Scrum and Agile, strong communication, great team management, conflict resolution, facilitation of Scrum ceremonies, and coaching my team members. And these are some of the things I've done from sprint 1 to the last sprint. These are the tools that I've learned coming to Blue Sky and working on the Prep Major website. The tools I've used are Azure DevOps, and Jira. Some of the things I've done on these tools is creating the boards, facilitating the Scrum ceremonies, for example, sprint planning, the sprint retro, sprint review, and creating the wiki. These are the responsibilities of a Scrum Master, which I've learned greatly. I've done them effectively within my team, keeping the team organized and focused for meetings, teaching Scrum practices and principles, facilitating the Scrum ceremonies from the daily stand-up to the sprint planning, help the team remove impediments, whether it was onboarding, whether people had technical issues. I protected the team. So for example, when I was working close with Femi, my developer, and he was giving us PBI, sometimes some of our team members was leaving the course, so they had things going on. So we didn't have enough team members. So I let Femi know what's going on. So I told him the amount of PBIs we can take in this sprint, so I didn't overwork my team. Collaborating with the product owner, coaching the Scrum team on the tools. For example, I remember when we had that difficulties with Jira, and then our board got lost, and I had to recreate the board with some other Scrum team members. And yeah, so I coached the team on using the tools. This is the end of my Scrum journey. I want to say thank you to Blue Sky Citadel, Deji, and everyone else that's been part of this wonderful journey. Thank you to my whole team, Twilight, to be the best team to be part of. Thank you to my wonderful mentor, Tolu. She's helped me a lot. I appreciate you. And now I just look forward to the future, getting my Scrum job, God willing, and just keep on learning and growing in the tech world. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you can share screen. Thank you. Thank you, Lomi.
Okay, give me a second. All right.
You want me to go next, Victoria? Or...
Yes, please. Just hold on.
Yeah, I'm just going to share my screen because I've got my slide.
I'm sorry, Inka, can you please hold on a moment? Okay, so this is Victoria, Terry Victoria. I am a Scrum Master as well. I would say that I'm going to be giving an introduction and then the things that I've learned while in Blue Sky Citadel, as well as my personal development, and then a brief summary. While in Blue Sky Citadel, I've been able to understand the Scrum framework, understanding the Scrum ceremonies, starting from daily stand-up down to sprint retrospective. I would also say I've also learned how to be a servant leader and how to be, to ensure that I am leading my team to do the best that they can do. I would also say that I've been able to facilitate and coach my team on understanding agile mindset and then Scrum also. Then also working with time management as well. This is something I've learned in Blue Sky because during daily stand-up we have a 15-minute time box, and we have been able to work as a team to ensure that we do this from sprint 1 down to the last sprint that we've had. Then also resolving conflict within my team. Then I would say that I would say that I've also been able to learn the characteristics of a Scrum Master, which is understanding how to take frustration and then be tolerable with my team. Also to be open and transparent with my team, and also develop a sense of responsibility. And I would say part of the responsibilities that I learned as a Scrum Master is, understanding how to help my team remove impediments as a Scrum Master. Then I would also say I've also helped my team in monitoring progress and the scope of goals, ensuring that the sprint's goal is understood during the sprint planning. And I would also say optimizing Scrum team velocity to identify how to improve opportunities to achieve high level performance. Then also coordinating interaction with other team inside out, agile methodologies as well. So while in Blue Sky Citadel, I would say that I have been able to personally develop, in understanding how to create Jira board, understanding the Scrum ceremonies, and then the importance of Scrum tool, the tools that we use like Jira, like Azure board, like Miro and Confluence. I would say I've been able to understand the importance of this tool. Then also, I would say I've been able to guide my team through a project in using Agile project management as well. Then in summary, I would just say that as a Blue Sky, as a Scrum Master in Blue Sky, I would like to thank my team. Shout out to my team, as well as mentors, Tolu, thank you, and Omotoke and our bodies as well for their support and push to do better. And I would not have gained this practical knowledge elsewhere. And so thank you, everyone. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Victoria, is that all of you?
Okay. I'm playing this. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Yinka. I'm a business analyst in the Twilight team.
Please, can you put it?
Yinka, put in presentation mode at the top. Yeah, lovely.
So my presentation is split into 3. So we've got the training, the activities, and the project. So start with the project. I was on the team working on a Prep Major website. Prep Major is a training platform where students can be onboarded to an online platform where they can learn. An instructor can post and sell their courses. The website gives students the space to learn new skills, an instructor to post and teach their courses. So it was a website project, and I participated in the development of the website, including the design and the functionalities of the menus used by both the student and the instructor. So while on this program, I had a number of training on Azure DevOps, Visio, Balsamic, Miro, Jira. I also had a training on stakeholder management and project management. In terms of activities, I attended all the daily stand-up meetings to discuss progress and impediment. We had meetings with the project owner to gather requirements. We also had meetings to review, refinement meetings to review and approve PBIs, meetings with BAs and party for guidance. While on this program, I also developed the team charter, work with the other BA team to write up agile principles, write up on value of a BA. We attended the retrospective meetings, and as part of my individual activities, I created 3 features, created 8 PBIs, created 10 wireframes, created 2 process maps, and wrote user stories and external criteria, 10 of them. I also facilitated and did 3 user acceptance testing, UAT. As part of this activity, I also supported my team member, the BAs, to help through their tasks and activities as well. So these are just the artifact of some of the activities that we did during the sprint, during the program, the wireframe, the testing, and all that. And the write-ups we uploaded into Wiki. And that's everything from me. Thank you very much for everyone, especially the Team Twilight team, and also all the tutors and bodies that have supported us through the program. It's been a journey, and we really appreciate all that you put in to support us to be able to learn and gather all this experience. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Inka. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, everyone in Twilight. Well done, guys. We'll go to the last scene now. Platinum, please. Who is sharing screen in Platinum?
I'll be sharing.
Least I forget, pending when Brenda is sharing. Okay, maybe after this I'll ask. Go ahead, Brenda.
Okay. So hi guys, this is Team Platinum, and this is our end of project report. Okay. It's not working for some reason. Wait. I'm sorry.
Press
I'm
escape.
sorry, I
Okay.
have an issue. It's not, wait, let me see if it can. Okay. Okay, it's working now, I think. So hi everybody, this is Team Platinum. And this is our end of project report. I'm sorry, when I want to switch the pages, they aren't switching anymore. I don't know why.
Use the arrow button, please.
Which arrow button?
The left, the right arrow on your keyboard, or the down.
Yeah, I'm clicking on it, but it's not working. Let's see.
Another thing you can try is, Brenda, if you go to your bottom left, just hover around it. Some icons will show. They are light icons. They will show. You can now see a forward button there. There's zoom there, forward. Ordinarily, it won't show, but if you hover around it, you see it. Share your screen again.
I think I've seen them. Okay, here, right?
Bottom left. Bottom left.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's fine.
Yeah, that's it. So you can use that.
Okay, so you can start
Yeah,
again.
basically, this is how you cope under pressure.
So
it's an interview question.
And this is the Scrum Masters team. So hi everybody, my name is Brenda and I'm a Scrum Master. The mandate of our project was to create an e-online platform where students and tutors can interact, and it's known as Prep Major. So we have various sprints. The first sprint was an introduction to the course. Well, we onboarded team members. We talked about CV creation and career development. We started creating our team charter with using Miro, which everybody signed after. We were familiarized with Jira and Azure DevOps, and we started the setups. On the side, we also had workshops, such as we learned about the Scrum ceremonies, which you can see on the board here, and we used it throughout the whole process. We talked about career development and how we'll create reports. And yeah, we use Azure and Jira. The first impediment I faced was delaying the members on board, and that was solved with the mentors. The first sprint we had, the goal was to create a footer and header design in view only option. Throughout the sprint, we completed the wiki page. We had our first sprint review. We still onboarded people on Azure and Jira, resolved some conflict and impediments, and regularly met with our mentors. We had some workshops too regarding the team charter, capacity planning, backlog refinement, metrics, and we defined the role of each team members. The sprint 2 was to develop the footer menu items and authorization, which include the sign up and login features. So my role was to schedule and facilitate sprint ceremonies. We had a few workshops to improve on previous skills. And the impediment we have was resolving conflicts, and that was done through improving our communication within us and also encouraging the team to be more productive. The sprint 3 was regarding social media links. I also facilitated the Scrum ceremonies. It was more focused on career development while working on the mandate, and we built our mind map and persona, which will help us later on when we're working. The impediment we faced was the Jira board was unavailable at some point. So we had to create a new one, and the team had to repopulate the board. Sprint 4 was regarding payment functionalities. Also facilitated some meetings and met with our mentors and developers. The impediment we mainly faced was the lack of developers in the team. And this created a slow productivity overall. And we also had some bugs which didn't allow us to move forward. So we had to contact our mentors and find a new developer. Sprint 5 was regarding payment functionalities and also create the end of program report. My role here was to complete the sprint, like the stories we had, and also assist the team and create the report. The impediment we faced that we were unable to finish some stories, and there was nothing we could do about it overall because it was out of our scope. The tools I've used throughout the process was Jira, Miro, Azure DevOps, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and the skills I've acquired were leadership, communication, coaching, time management, adaptability, conflict resolution, and software development. The values I've learned was to show transparency, being honest, unity and collaboration, trusting each other, effective communication, commitment, being focused, reflective learning, good work ethics, and effective time management. Overall, I'll say the goal of this project was to create an e-learning platform where students and tutors can interact, known as Prep Major. The website offers individual courses, diplomas, associate degrees, and certificate program online. studies which are a valuable option. And to do so, it was necessary to understand and manage the team's project and life cycle by planning, controlling the project effectively and efficiently throughout the different phases. My role as a Scrum Master, well, I had to learn the agile methodologies to ensure that the Scrum team follows the processes that were agreed upon. Also keep obstacles and distraction out of the team's path were part of my responsibilities as a Scrum Master. Overall, it was a fun experience. I've learned a lot. I've improved on my productivity and my soft and hard skills too. And that'll be all for me.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda, and I'm the Scrum Master from the Platinum team. This is the internship report for, next slide. Okay, so we're talking about the skills that I have acquired, the knowledge I've gained throughout this period of 3 months, the project we worked on, and the impediments that I was able to resolve. Next slide, please. So yeah, basically this is a table of technical skills I acquired, and you can see the progression from sprint 0 to sprint 5, how I've been able to progress, regarding the functionalities of using the Azure board, or learning how to use the wiki page and the Jira board and the Microsoft Office and Microsoft Teams and Miro. So over time, I've learned or gained more knowledge as the weeks have gone by. Next slide, please. Yeah, and this is also a table to show my progression as well regarding my soft skills, resolving impediments, my presentation skills, facilitation skills, communication, conflict resolution, and coaching as well. Next slide, please. Yeah, so basically I've gained a very great understanding about how the Azure DevOps works, its functionalities, Scrum ceremonies, the Scrum metrics, estimation techniques, and capacity planning. Next slide, please. So on the Azure DevOps, I've gained knowledge on how the process works, that is basic Agile or Scrum. But in this project, the process that we used was the Scrum, which has more detailed features and more intricate features. It also encourages, the team to work as, as individuals. The functionality of the wiki page as well, which is basically the archive where we used to store, very important information like the working agreement, the racing matrix, etc., and also how to create the Scrum processes. Next slide, please. Yeah, so basically this is a rundown of all the Scrum ceremonies I've learned. I've learned how to facilitate the sprint planning, the daily Scrum, the sprint review, the sprint retrospective, and also the backlog refinement. This is basically to, be aware or, make the team understand what to look out for in the next sprint regarding the product backlog items. In Scrum metrics, I've also learned the importance of the Scrum metrics, such as the burn down chart, which helps to track the team's effectiveness, team deliverables, and the team growth, and how we've been able to, progress, within the time frame of the project that we worked on. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, also I've learned about the estimation techniques using we use the popular Fibonacci sequence as an estimation technique. I also learned about, effort estimation measured in hours done on task. I was able to, to guide my team members on how to, estimate their task using the hours and not the user stories. I've also learned how to achieve a better sprint planning by improving commitment and better task allocation, and also controlling scope creep. Learned how to collect information during capacity planning, know who's available and who's not available to work on each particular task. And also, I've also learned the steps in calculating capacity planning and factors that may affect the team's capacity based on, if a team member is sick or if someone is not available and all of that. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the the major focus of the project was to develop a website where students and tutors can interact. And these are all the features of the website that we've worked on, including the landing page down to the payment functionality. So in essence, all the product backlighting that was worked on this period makes it possible for students to be able to navigate the website seamlessly and to enroll in any of the courses that they're interested in. Next slide, please. So these are the impediments that I was able to resolve from sprint 0 to 5. So from sprint 0, basically what we did was to onboard team members, on Azure, Jira, Microsoft, etc., and on the Prep Major website as well to access their courses. In sprint 1, we pretty much did the same thing too, because some people were still finding it difficult to, get onboarded. I helped some team members to do that as well. In sprint 2, some team members were not, always attending the Scrum ceremonies. However, I encouraged them to do so as this helped to foster collaboration within team members and increase productivity as well. During sprint 3, our product owner was not available to give the project mandate for the new sprint due to some personal reasons. The issue was escalated and we had to get a replacement for the time being. During the sprint 4, the developers were not pulling their weight, which affected our project. The issue was escalated as well. We got a replacement to do the work on the pending task, and we met up with the deadline. And during the sprint 5, the developers were still, not pulling their weight as well on their assigned tasks. They were reached out to, and also I tried to motivate them to continue working on the project. I think that's all. So it's been a great experience. I've learned so much from June up until now, and I'm very grateful for Blue Sky. I'm grateful to Blue Sky Citadels, all the tutors that took out all their time to impact this knowledge on me and my team members. I also want to thank our mentors, Temi and Vivian. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
Is John around?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Hello, guys. My name is John Olaibe, Scrum Master. The project we work on was a digital transformation project. The goal of this project was to create an e-learning platform where students and tutors can interact. As a Scrum Master, my responsibilities were: 1, to facilitate, collaborate, and communicate among team members as a servant leader to ensure a successful outcome. I work directly with stakeholders, senior stakeholders, and the product owner. Some of the daily tasks include, and not limited to, sorry, the next page, please. So I performed agile management activities, including planning, execution, tracking, and reporting, acting as a servant leader to core team members with regards to all facets of the agile Scrum framework, facilitated and managed Scrum ceremonies and events, ensuring work completed and demonstrated to stakeholders. UAT is conducted and main stakeholders sign off the completed work and features, assisting product owners in the execution of their respective agile projects and coordinating software deployment and ensured compliance with change control procedures. Next, I also implemented agile ideals by facilitating exercises such as sprint planning and team leading stand-ups, facilitating all agile ceremonies, including backlog refinement, sprint planning, daily stand-up and retrospective meetings, responsible for providing report metrics like burn down chart and charts, progress, quality, and velocity continually to the team and various stakeholders, helping product owner with
effective management of the backlog, ensure invest criteria is met for all the user stories in the backlog, efficiently guiding Scrum team. Next, please. So we used the software development life cycle methodology, which was implemented was Scrum Agile. So we used tools such as Jira, Azure DevOps, Confluence, Miro, and Zoom. Also, we used Microsoft Teams in executing the project. In Sprint 1, this is a repetition from, obviously from our team members as Scrum Masters. We did an introduction, team building. Sorry, did you go back? Yeah, so we did a CV creation, team charter creation with Miro, Jira and Azure DevOps setup, facilitating Scrum methodology with the team. Yeah, we did workshops as well. Sorry, next. Yeah, Sprint 1, we completed the wiki page, sprint review, onboarding on Jira and Azure, resolving conflicts, resolving impediments, and meeting with the mentor. So we did workshops on the team charter, capacity planning, backlog refinement, matrix, roles and responsibility of the team members. Next, please. So in the second sprint, we were meant to develop the footer menu and items and authorization, which included sign up login features. And sprint 3 was social media icons and links. So next, sorry. So and sprint 4, it was payment functionalities, which and sprint 5 was the payment functionalities, and at the end of the, and we were meant to provide or produce a project report. So sorry, I couldn't finish because I just came back from work, but I really appreciate working with the team. My team has been, robust and very supportive. And thank you to Mr. Deji. Thank you to the mentors. And this is a great platform to where, has taught me a lot about skills, soft skills, and also, it's been enlightening and has brought about me knowing myself, my weaknesses and strengths. And I'm sure that we all look forward to getting, good jobs out there, and really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Esio Gene, and I'm a business analyst. This is our sprint review. Sprint 0, we onboarded into the various boards, just like Miro, Azure DevOps, Jira. We also had team bonding, and we had a meeting with our stakeholders, getting to know them better. Then during our sprint 1, we were taught on user stories and accepted criteria, elicitation of requirements, onboarding into balsamic and wireframe. Next slide, please. Then sprint 2, we elicited requirements from our PO, wrote user stories and accepted criteria, and installation of Visio and process map. And sprint 3, I elicited requirements from our product owner, wrote user stories and accepted criteria, and we were taught on use cases or business cases, and did process mapping for our various stories and wireframe for the stories that were written. Next slide, please. Then sprint 4, attending daily stand-up, sprint planning, elicitation of requirement from our product owner, wrote user stories and accepted criteria, wireframes, and did UAT testing, user acceptance testing. Then our sprint 5, attended daily stand-up and all our Scrum ceremonies. And I also did UAT testing. Next slide, please. Now, this is a table showing what I did. I wrote 8 user stories, 8 wireframes, 5 process map, and 7 user acceptance testing. Next slide, please. Summary of the project. The prep major is a one-stop online learning platform where you can access different professional courses. It's also a mobile application that allows instructors to teach onboarded users. I work on the student journey during this project and wrote stories on the checkout page, payment gateway, and accessing courses both paid and free. I also worked on the student being able to track down their records during their progress during their course of study. And I also did user acceptance testing for the stories. And at the end of the day, the project was a success. Thank you very much for the time you took out to teach us. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for imparting us. Thanks to my fellow team members and to the stakeholders. Thank you.
Good evening, all. My name is Hafsat. I'm a business analyst. The project I just worked on is a prep major project. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. On the prep major project, the sprint was divided into 4. And then being that prep major project, we worked in an agile environment. So with agile methodologies, the board we used was Azure DevOps and Miro, Jira, and then Balsamiq was installed, Visio was installed. Team bonding was necessary to ensure collaboration with my stakeholders, and also identification of other stakeholders to strategize on better ways of managing the relationship as the sprint unfolds. Next slide, please. So in all, we had 5 sprints, which were all based on student journey functionalities on the prep major website. So each of these sprints had requirement gathering, elicitation, refinement, collaboration, UAT testing for completion of the project. Although some sprints went as planned, we had impediments in some and we had blockers. Some of the impediments were some of the BAs could not conclude on the project, so we had few BAs that had to complete the work. We also had issues in respect of developers, which we had some prolonged absence. These prolonged some of the project, which we were still able to complete at the end of the day. Then next slide, please. Next slide. So as my journey on prep major projects, I wrote 7 user stories and acceptance criteria, 8 wireframes, and 4 process maps. Next slide, please. So summary of the project, Prep Major is an e-learning platform where students and tutors navigate, access courses, and learn courses. The project was a process improvement on students' journey functionalities on a new website. It had a development life cycle of 12 weeks using agile methodologies. Invest criteria was adhered to in requirement gathering, and then the PBI is committed. We used as a board. Jira and Miro were also used. Balsamiq and Visio were used to enhance interpretation of the user acceptance criteria and effective collaboration with stakeholders. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dorcas. I'm a QA. For this project, we're working on the project called Prep Major, and the mandate for the project is to create an e-learning platform where students and tutors can interact. So it is a digital transformation project, and like I said, the purpose is sorry. Okay, the purpose is to ensure that students and student can access videos, learning materials, and get direct messages from tutors. And also tutors, they can upload their materials on the website. Features of Prep Major website that we worked on, that I and my team worked on, we worked on the header, which contained the logo, the search bar, the search courses bar, the home link, the login link, sign up buttons, courses link, and the favorite icon as well, where they can navigate, save any course. Students can save any course that they prefer or like. The body of the website contains the recent courses, any course that any student have viewed or signed up for. They can find it a link there where they can see a list of their recent courses. Also, we worked on the footer, which contained the about us link, the privacy link, terms and conditions link, and the social media icons where students can click on, or any user can click on and navigate to all the social media platforms of the website. We also have on the feature of the profile page where the student can see all their information on the page. They have to log in order to access that. Also, we have the checkout page, and we use the checkout page uses the Stripe card payment system. Also, there's a bank transfer functionality as well. So there are many more functionalities on the website. Next slide, please. So for this project, from Sprint 0 to 1, I made sure I attended most of the Scrum ceremonies. Started on my CV creation, attended the career development meetings. Also, I joined my team to create the team charter on Miro. Also, we did the Azure DevOps board setup, Jira setup, where we had the task to do our CV creation, CV review, persona, mind map, interview prep, and elevator pitch. I attended all the QA lectures. I also designed a test plan and test strategy. Also designed some test cases both on Excel and Azure DevOps. I also carried out manual testing, raised a bug, which was my very first bug I raised during Sprint 1. And then Sprint 2, also attended the Scrum ceremonies and the daily stand-ups. Did so from the beginning, actually. And then CV creation, continued with it, ensured, submitted my CV for review. Also continued designing test cases and carry out manual testings as well. Next slide, please. Sprint 3, same, attended all Scrum ceremonies, created my persona, made sure I took part in the career development presentation where we created our persona and showcased what we have learned so far, the tools we've used, the skills that we've acquired, and the skills that we are yet to acquire, the job description, our job description and all. Also, they updated the Jira board with the things that I've worked on already, obtained the project mandate. We've actually obtained that already. Sorry about that. That's a typo. Worked on the test, continued working on the test environment, and did continue carrying out manual testing, raised bugs, and did some progress reports. And then we moved on to automation, where we downloaded our framework and set up our IntelliJ in order to start our automation. And then Sprint 4 did the same, continued with the Scrum ceremony, ensured to attend all, most, I wouldn't say all because that would be lying. Okay, I made sure to attend most of the sprint, Scrum, daily Scrum, and then installed the dependencies on IntelliJ, the POM file, TestNG, Test Runner, downloaded the WebDriver on IntelliJ, created the registration feature file for this was just like a test in order for us to learn how to use IntelliJ to do automation. So our tutor taught us that I had a go with that. I ensured to make sure this was running. Created my registration feature file, created the step definition, carried out automation on that website that we can see there. Also, I had a go at locators, assertions, waits, driver.quick and driver.close. Next slide, please. Sprint 5, attended the Scrum ceremonies again. Sorry, I kept saying that. Executed the manual testing on all those features on the About Us privacy policy terms and conditions project file. Actually, I did regression testing because at some point I had to raise a bug because these I'd done a manual testing on them before, but the developer worked on them and then they something broke basically, so I had to do I raised the bug and then I had to do a regression testing on that. Created a feature file step definition for the About Us privacy policy terms and conditions. Executed automation on all of them to make sure they are working properly. So I had to go at using JavaScript as well. And then we did, I did the page object and used the books as well. Next slide, please. So these are the tools that I was able to acquire to learn how to use whilst on the program. So Azure DevOps, Selenium WebDriver, IntelliJ IDEA, Git as well. We had to push our code onto Git. And then we use the Jira board. Python is something that I've learned before. So JavaScript as well. I was able to use JavaScript, some SQL, not totally on the program, but something that I know of. Miro as well. We use Miro for our team to do our team meetings and all. And then I used Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and others. Right. Next slide, please. So this is the summary of the testing that I did during the sprint. I was able to raise a total of 12, I was able to work on a total of 12 PBIs, did 8 test cases and manual testing 7. The ones that are yet to be done, still working on, is one of them. And then these are the ones that were assigned to me to do. And then the feature files are created in IntelliJ, 5 of them, did 5 automation, and then I'm yet to carry out 2 automation, which is on the checkout page and the profile page that was assigned to me. In total, I raised 9 bugs. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you so much because for me personally, it's this has been a dream for me to. I'm almost emotional now, but Blue Sky Citadel has actually really helped me because I think I'll stop here. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So yeah, my name is Ade Adisheye. I'm one of the QA members on the platform team. And this is just a table of contents of what I'm gonna go through today. Prep major project overview, contributions on the projects, and the tools I've used in the process. Next slide, please. So basically, from what I understand, Prep Major is an e-learning platform where both students and tutors can engage and improve their skills and knowledge in various courses in IT in order to gain and develop new skills. The platform itself is built as a means for students and tutors that are registered on the platform to view some of the information available on the website and to find out more about what Prep Major is all about. In addition to that, the platform also has other features such as new user registration, login feature, free courses access for existing users, and a means to purchase some of the courses available on the website. Other features were also developed, such as users being able to complete their transactions using various payment methods when buying a course, such as Klarna, PayPal, direct bank transfer, and credit card. I forgot to add that, sorry. So during this whole process, I was exposed to all these features while I was on the program with Prep Major, because as I said, I was one of the QAs testing on the platform. And after some of these features have been implemented and developed by the developers, and because of this, I had a chance to gain on-the-job experience during the development of the website from scratch. I was also a member of the Agile team where I participated in Agile ceremonies such as daily stand-up meetings, where I spoke about what I did the previous day, what I intend to do on the current day, and discuss any impediments or blockers that I might have had, so that I can be unblocked by the help of not only the Scrum Masters, but any subject matter experts on the team. I participated in sprint planning meetings, which normally take place like every 2 weeks before the end of sprint. Backlog refinement meetings where I and the team get to refine any ambiguous requirements that's been written by the business analyst, estimation and prioritization of PBIs, sprint reviews, and sprint retrospectives. I also use Azure DevOps as a test management tool, which I use to design my test cases. I also use it to raise some bugs and add specific tasks that's related to any PBI that's assigned to me. In the whole process of manual testing as well, I always try to design test plans before I start testing any of the PBIs. I design test cases, making sure I cover all scenarios, even though we all know that exhausting testing is not possible. I executed manual tests and raised bugs when there is any deviation from requirements during test execution. And at the end of successful manual testing, I also developed my next slide, please. I can't see the bottom of the. Oh, sorry. I have the rest of the. Yeah, sorry. So I also developed my. 1 second. Where is that? Yeah, so I designed my test case, make sure I cover all scenarios, even though exhaustive testing. Yeah, I executed manual tests and raised bugs when there is any deviation from requirements during test execution. And at the end of successful manual testing, I developed my test automation using Cucumber BDD framework. In the process as well, I designed my feature files, test runner, step definition, and I wrote my automation code as well using Java programming language. And all this was done using IntelliJ IDE. Next slide, please. So my contribution in project, basically, I did a lot more than this, but this is all just like with regards to the PBI that I managed to work on in the whole process. Major logo, that was at the early sprints, header design as well. New user registration, which was the one that was actually quite interesting during testing. Social media icon as well. All this I've mentioned, I did manual testing on all of them. I raised some bugs. I've also written feature file for the new user sign up, which I've already passed text execution and automation testing. The social media icon as well, I managed to use scenario, what's that called again? Feature file scenario to design that. That's also done. And the current test I'm actually carrying out with regards to payment by direct bank transfer. That's still in progress because obviously we're at the end of sprint, but I'm still trying to complete that. So next slide, please. So the tools I've used so far in the whole process, Azure DevOps, as I said earlier, as a test management tool to manage all the PBIs that have been assigned. I use Jira to keep up to date with some of the stuff with regards to like CV creation, job search, mind map, and so on. I use Selenium WebDriver as a tool that I use to automate web browsers. Java, which is a programming language I use to write my code. Maven, which is the build tool. IntelliJ IDE, which is where I write all my codes on. Git as a version control system, and also Miroboard. So that's it really. And I would like to use the opportunity as well to thank everybody on the team. Deji, even though it feels quite weird calling you by name. Everybody on Platinum team, my QA team members. I've enjoyed the whole process with you guys, and yeah, thank you very much for everything. That's it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayodeji Oloyo. I'm a data analyst. Through the course of 6 sprints at Blue Sky Citadel, I was involved in 4 major projects, ranging from sales, bank, investments, to football. I was also engaged in training and workshop offered for career development. And I also took additional responsibility outside my role to train my team members on how to use some of the tools and software required. Aside from that, I also acted as a resource person within the training and workshop program for career development. Throughout the course of that 6 sprints, I was able to develop a mind map to show my career path. I was able to create a CV and persona, and also a cover letter for future roles. Next slide, please. So this will just show the mind map. Next slide. So this is my cover letter. Next slide. That's my CV. Next slide. That's my persona. Next slide. So these are the projects. So the sales project was for ABC company. So it was to show the stakeholders their sales margin, and according to regions, according to salespersons. Then the next one is company growth and profit ratio, also a sales project, was to create a dashboard that the stakeholders could relate with and interact with. Then the bank project was also to check the customer performance and profit ratio and the company growth. Then the football project was to see the value and wages of players position and attribute, and so on. So the first project was I used Excel for that, and you would see, next slide, please. So this is the first project. This is the visualization I developed using Excel for the stakeholders. Next slide. This is another visualization. Next slide. This is another visualization on Excel also. So this is Tableau. Yeah, next slide. So this is another project, and this is Tableau, and this is a visualization created for interaction. So the stakeholders could see how their company is doing, and how sales are like across regions. You can see there's a geographical map showing the locations of company their stores across Europe, and you can see the red shows where they are losing money, and blue shows where they're making money, and the scatter plot below is just showing the customer performance. You can see the one below, the ones red are like their performance is low. They are not then the ones above their performance is that's the red one, the blue one rather. So next slide. This is the bank project. Also, it's also a visualization board created on Tableau. This is just a screenshot, but the actual document sent to the stakeholders, they can actually interact with it. When they click on the region, it will show the metrics will change, showing okay, this is not part of UK, and this is the south part of UK, and things like that. So they will see the metrics changing as you are clicking on the geographical location. So next slide, please. So this is a project for football. They wanted to get players for different positions in a club, and they wanted a list of players that fall within the range of within a certain age bracket, and also they wanted they didn't want to get a player that was too expensive but also valuable. So we had to create a dashboard for them to visualize. Then they could also relate to this dashboard. They could go on to increase and decrease the value of the player, or the wage of the player, or the value of the player. So as they do that, it changed. Like I said, this is just a screenshot, but the actual document, you can relate. You can interact with it. So next slide, please. This is also the football project. So this is a more elaborate one. Just the same. It's something they can interact with by. So it shows the attribute of player according to geographical location and things like that. So next slide, please. So this is a, would I say, an area map showing like the attributes of players, so you can make a comparison between two players. So this comparison I am saying right there is the top two players in the world. That's Ronaldo and Messi, and that is their that's their attribute as top strikers. So you can see how they are overlapped on one another. So next slide, please. So some of the data that we used were collected from database or APIs, and or from flat files that were sent to the team. So what we did was, some of those files we had to first put them on SQL to query them to get the necessary information we needed. So we had to clean them, and we had to do a lot of joining, write some joint queries, write some select queries, write some group by queries, some calculations, some partition by queries. We had to do some CTEs, stored procedure, and so on. So if you go to the next slide, please. So these are some of the queries that I wrote. Next slide, please. So some of the queries, next slide. So you just keep going. These are the queries I wrote on SQL.
This is the last slide. That's
the last slide. So over the course of my sixth sprint, I was able to develop myself as a data analyst. I was able to develop my technical skills and my soft skills. Also, I can also say that I was one of the most reliable member of a team. You could rely on me anytime. Just call me during the day, at night, anytime. I would as long as I can provide solution to the problem, I was willing to help. And I want to thank everyone on the platform that supported me, that gave me opportunity to be able to express myself, from the head to to every mentor and body. I want to thank everyone. I'm grateful. That is me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Platinum. So I'm going to stop the recording now and start the part B of it. Thank you. Just a moment.